Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts. They ain't got nothing but naked leg, man, chewing them up, man. He's screaming and hollering, man. The people let the dog just shake them and eat them up, man. It was just crazy. It was a crazy scene, man. They came in there, they got all of us, you know, they got all of them, gathered all of them up, locked them up, took them where they wanted to take them, man. Then they ended up coming in there getting us. Man, I think we ended up laying there, spread out on the floor, man, for over an hour and something, man. You know, maybe even longer, hour and a half or better. It just was crazy, man. It was insane. You know, I ended up getting back to the cell, man, and I started packing this stuff up. You know, they come around the same thing. They don't care nothing about his property because they mad because they got to do extra work and they ain't want to do that work because, you know, like I say, they got to fill out paperwork. They got to inventory anything. That was another reason why they always try to tell you can keep the dude's property, sell his TV door, because they couldn't even hardly read and write up there. So they didn't want to do all of that stuff. So that was another reason and another incentive for them to tell you, just keep it. You know what I'm saying? Which was crazy, man. It was just insane because if you go to jail, man, and you get to jail and you come out, man, and you ain't got all your property and you ain't got your TV, man, hey, it ain't no telling. I don't know what I do. I know I'm gonna snap. So, you know, but I made sure he got all his stuff, which was ironic because after he back there for a while, maybe a couple of weeks or something, I ended up getting this inventory sheet. He tried to write me a letter say he ain't get all his property. Man, I wrote him back and say, look, if you ain't get it all, the police took it all, bro. I don't do no foolishness like that. I made sure you had everything that you had in here was packed all the way down to a pencil. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of put me on alert too because now I'm looking at these blood dudes like maybe he sent word out here to the other bloods that he ain't get his property. I'm waiting for one of them to approach me about some foolishness, which one of them did. You know, came up to me and asked me, said, yeah, man, the homie Razor say he ain't get all this stuff. I said, yeah, well, I'm going to tell you just like I told him. I packed everything he had in there, bro. Everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm above that. I don't need nobody else's stuff. I make my own. I don't need none of that. You need to talk to the police about that. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, okay, OG, I just was asking you because he sent the word, told me to ask you. I said, well, you tell him, just like I told him in the kite that I wrote him, don't send nobody at me no more, bro. Don't send nobody at me no more. He was like, okay, it ain't no problem, OG. But I was, you know, ready right then and there because I'm like, man, this clown gonna send somebody at me, tell me something. Man, get out of here, man. I don't want your stuff with nobody. I don't do petty stuff like that. But yeah, I can remember that happening, man. So, you know, he gone now. I'm back solo, riding in this cell solo, wondering what type of character I'm gonna get next, you know. And at the same time, I'm wondering this while I'm riding solo, man. Here comes Top, man. Y'all remember Top, a.k.a. possibly my son. Top is locked back up, man. He's on a violation, and he's up there. You know, he was on Augusta. He got into some big melee on Augusta, which sent him to Red Onion. He goes to Red Onion, and he ended up on the step down, coming down, and now he's on Wallace Ridge right there with me. So people telling me that, you know, man, your son say he up here, he trying to holler at you. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? So boom, because I did not even know he was locked back up on a violation. So where I'm at, in the block that I'm at, I can go to the window when they're on the rec yard. I'm right there at the rec yard. I can look out the window and see everybody on the rec yard. So one day I'm out there and he comes out on the rec yard, man. He comes to my window. People done told him what my window was. And I'm talking at him through the window. He got this other dude with him. And I'm sitting there chopping it up with him like, man, what you doing locked back up? Then let alone what you doing way up here in the mountains, man. What you got going on? He telling me the whole story. And what's so crazy is that he actually was on Augusta and he was gambling, which he always do. Gambling, that's part of his little hustle. He's a hustler. He gambling and get to arguing with a dude in there about the gambling. So the dude, you know what I'm saying, want to rumble with him. And Top ain't no fighter, Top a lover, you know, a money getter, a hustler. But he ain't gonna back down, so he gonna rumble with the dude and everything. But then all his homeboys, because like I say, where he from, all his homeboys look up to him because he was a big hustler on the street. So all his homeboys like, nah, you ain't gonna rumble, man. Yeah, y'all wanna do something, ain't nah, it ain't going down. They ready to get his back. So the dude, his people, you know, fall in line too. They gonna get his back. So now they end up in a big old melee where something get ready to pop off and ended up popping off. But the irony in that is, the dude that he's arguing with is like one of my better friends doing this bit, man. One of my little youngins. And he got a twin, the one I did the video about the twins, you know, Kelly and Caleb. You know, and they out here on the streets right now. Well, yeah, both of them are. You know, salute to them, my dudes. But he's arguing with the dude, I think he's arguing with Kelly. And now his people got involved, man, and then it gets heated with the words and, you know, punches start being thrown, you know, people done pulled to Bethlehem, you know, a couple of things, but nobody got hurt real seriously. But when the people run down on them, they so scared because it's a what they consider a mob, you know, beef, that boom, they ship them all out to the mountains. You see what I'm saying? So when he telling me the story and he tell me who it is, I'm like, what? I said, man, them my dudes, I know them. He was like, yeah, and woo, woo, woo. And he was like, yeah, I know, man, because that's why I'm telling you, because then when we ended up in the hole up Wallace Ridge and we was talking about the situation and everything, and I told them who I was, and they was like, how long they been locked up, and I asked them, did they know you? And they said, yeah. And you like, man, they're my people, woo, woo, woo. And they was like crazy. They was like, oh, man, if I'd have known that, they would have never jumped off, man. I ain't know that, man. You know what I'm saying? You bank son or something for real, man. I ain't know. Woo, woo, woo. So it was just a crazy story within itself, right? And I'm like, man, that's crazy, yo. And I'm like, who that with you? The dude that's with him is actually his brother, right? Not my son, his brother, someone that was born since I got locked up. When I got locked up, his mother only had one child, which was him. Now, since then, she ended up getting with another dude. She ended up having, I don't know how many kids with the other dude, but he was the second one to come, so he's like a couple of years younger than Top. And he's locked up for a murder, you know, a big murder out in Richmond. So, which caused more controversy down the line too. But he tall, he like 6'4", real skinny, but I had already heard about him on the street, you know, over the years, because he's a wild one. Now, I knew his father. And his father and him look alike. He's way taller, but their facial look just alike. And his demeanor is 100% different than his father. His father is a easy laughing going dude, man. Ain't gonna bust a grape. He ain't looking for no type of drama at all whatsoever. Him, different story. Ultra aggressive, known on the street for popping the pistol. Actually, his nickname was WAP, for the gun, the UWAP. He just was notorious, been getting in trouble since he was 9, 10 years old. So there he ended up with a murder charge, got a whole lot of time under the new law. He's currently still locked up trying to fight his case, trying to get back in there because there was some false testimonies against him or whatever, and people done recanted their testimony. Hopefully he will prevail. But anyway, that was his brother WAP. So now I'm meeting him, and they crossed the hall, as a matter of fact. So every time that they come out for wreck, he coming to the window hollering at me, and I'm talking to them or whatnot, and they telling me to try to get moved over there. And prior to this, when we was on Greensville and stuff together, whenever I was around him, we would tell administration, you know, this is family. Sometimes they will honor that. They'll put you in the block with them. They may even put you in the cell with them. You know, sometimes they would, sometimes they wouldn't. But being that we was up here in the mountains, won't no telling what was going to happen. But now my main objective was to try to get over there in the block with them so I could be around him. Plus, because I knew the, you know, atmosphere we was in, anything could jump off, anything could happen, and I wanted to be over there with him in case something happened with him. I could be on deck, and you know what I'm saying, I would feel more secure. So man, I kept on trying to get over there. Then he told me that the barber job was open over there. So that was my angle. I had already put in paperwork and said that he was over there, whatever. They told me they'd see what they could do, but you know what I'm saying, they hadn't responded. So now when I started trying to get the job over there as a barber, because I was qualified and it was a job open, boom, they ended up moving me over there. And lo and behold, they put me right in the cell right beside him and WAP. So now I'm actually in a cell, and Top and WAP is in the cell right beside me. Go figure. Crazy situation, man. And Top ain't had that much time left. He never get a lot of time, you know what I'm saying? He always gets short amount of time because it was always drug related. And it ain't like he was getting caught with kilos and all of this type of stuff. So it was drug related. He didn't have much time. He had like 16, 15 months before he was going back to reentry. So, man, we started getting in the routine and everything, man. That was who I hung with. You know, I kicked it with them. We went out there, man, in the pod. They liked playing cards, so I was out in the pod with them because, like I said, I wanted to be on deck if anything jumped off. So I started going out in the pod more often, playing spades and stuff with them, man, you know, just doing what they was doing just to, you know, to get the flow of everything. And, man, I can remember us being out on the yard one time. I think I had told this story in another one of my stories, man, but we was on the yard one day, and then I see all these dudes over there in the group, and they just talking and everything. And Top and Wop is out there on the yard over there talking to some other young dudes from out their way that they knew. So I'm just, you know, doing my calisthenics, working out and walking around. And I can remember when one of the dudes from the group came over to holler at me. He was like, let me holler at you for a minute, OG. I'm like, what's up? So he said, man, the dude in the cell beside you, man, everybody say that's your son. I said, yeah, why, what's up? He said, but the tall dude in there with him, that ain't your son, is? I said, nah. They was like, man, well, look, man, you know, dudes over there, man, they got to have him, man. They say he killed the homie out on the street, man, a big dude, man, and, you know, he killed him for nothing, man, and, you know, it's his peoples over there, man, they trying to get at him. I'm like, man, what? What? You know what I'm saying? I said, well, let me tell you something, bro. I said, that dude that's in the cell with my son is his brother. He's not my son, but that's his brother. I said, so guess what? If anybody try to do something to him, my son's going to get involved. And if my son get involved, I'm going to get involved. So I don't know what they got planned over there, and I don't know what they think they're going to do, but I'm letting you know right there, you let them know that if they mess with my son or anybody that's associated with him, bro, they better come to kill, because that's what's going to happen. People going to lose their life, bro. Real people are going to lose. I'm telling you, I don't want to talk about it no more. I don't want to discuss it. That's what it's going to be. So he was like, no, OG, I said, I'm telling you, bro, I don't even want to discuss it no more. It just took my anger to a whole nother level than somebody talking about doing something to him. And like I say, whether he my son or not, I got that type of kinship to him then. And I won't go allow that to happen. So I said what I said, and I meant it, and I said it emphatically. And I said, you can go back over there and tell them that that's what I said. If they don't like it, they can come over here right now and make a move. I immediately went into war mode, man. They talking about doing something to him, knowing that Top was going to get involved. I was like, man, just the thought of them trying to do something to him, and he might be, you know, my actual son or something. But then even bigger than that, I had already, you know, had been on that. Anybody that was from that area that I was from, you know what I'm saying, I always looked out for them. I always took them up under my wing because I felt like that was the right thing to do. And plus, I may have knew their family members. I may have knew their parents or whatever. So I always try to look out for them, and I always, you know, made sure that if they was around me, that they was gonna be safe if I had anything to do with it. So yeah, that was a moment right there, man, where I thought, you know, this stuff was gonna get ready to go left. So, man, I can remember, man, going back over there to Top them and letting them know, man, you know, just be on point somebody. And they was like, what's going on? I ain't really want to tell them. And then when we got in the building, man, once we got back in the block, I was telling them. And I can remember Wop, man. I tell y'all, Wop is a live wire, man. Wop was like, who? What he at? And I'm like, hold on, man. Just calm down. Calm your body language down, because the dudes was back in the block now, too. And I could see they was looking. And they could read body language like I could read. I said, just be calm, man. I'm talking to you about it. That's between us. They ain't got to know what we talking about. I think I done squashed the thing. I done let it be known. He was like, man, give me a knife. Give me a knife. Wop wanted the knife. Wop ready to go to war. You know, but, you know, thank God, man, the thing got, you know, calmed down, man. The dude pulled back up on me, man. He told me the dude's going to stand down, man. They respect the situation or whatever, you know. So I knew that, like I say, they didn't really want to go there because it was going to be a big price to pay. Plus, like I say, where we at. And then you don't bring no street beef to no penitentiary. We already in the penitentiary trying to survive. And I know dudes that was shooting at each other on the street. They don't bring that stuff in the penitentiary because, you know, what you going to do in the penitentiary besides get more time? What you going to do in the penitentiary besides punish your own self? So you got to leave that stuff on the streets. If you get back on the streets with these people and you see them and you want to do something to put yourself back in the penitentiary, then that's a fool on you. You know, that's a fool. So, you know, so it's crazy when dudes do that. Very rare you see them do it, but sometimes they do, man. They bring that street stuff into the penitentiary, and like you trying to handle something in the penitentiary. And a lot of dudes do it because they know it ain't no guns in the penitentiary. So they may have felt like if you popping that pistol on the street, you ain't want no part of something because they popping that pistol. But in here, they ain't got no pistol, and they feel like they can get out on you. But, you know, it won't happen. That won't happen, not on my watch, nah. So, man, like I said, got died there, man. It came to me, man, told me things were squashed, and it was cool. I was glad. But, always I stay alert. I stay ready. But, yeah, man, that was going on. And then all of a sudden, man, the tobacco thing, man. I got to tell y'all about this tobacco thing. It's crazy. You know, that came into big play, man. Big play, that tobacco, man, because what was going on with the tobacco was they had took it out the system now. So now they done got to the point where it's all gone and everybody is trying to smoke. You know, smoking is a big habit in prison. So it gives dudes calmness, it gives them relief. I used to smoke, you know, I'm glad I stopped, thank God, you know what I'm saying? But them cigarettes, man, was vicious, man. Dudes done got, you know, killed over cigarettes. Dudes done got their heads split open over cigarettes. Dudes done got the rumbling over cigarettes. Them cigarettes is currency in prison. You use that as money for transactions, everything. So when they took it out of the system, I really thought they was gonna ride. But that just goes to show too how, you know, the prison was, you know, it was not what it used to be when I came in. You took anything from them dudes when I came in, man, they went in an uprising. But now it was different, you know what I'm saying? They had more control over the prison. They had more control over the inmates. This is why they built Sussex 1, Sussex 2, you know, Wallace Ridge, King Mountain, Red Onion, because they could get control because they busting that gun. So, you know, I thought it was going to ride, man, but they didn't ride, man. But that just made the cigarettes, man, even that much more valuable, that much more, you know, expensive. So when dudes did get some or come across some, they selling it, little pen roll-up cigarettes, man, like little joints for $5, $6. And it was crazy. But what was even more crazier than that was, man, listen, the officers was not even supposed to have tobacco on this compound. Once they outlawed it, they couldn't even bring it to work. They weren't supposed to bring cigarettes to work or nothing. But yet, as I told y'all, all the officers walking around with chewing tobacco in their mouth, which is considered a tobacco product, which was illegal. They weren't supposed to have it in there as well. But they all was chewing it. Almost everybody up there chewed. And I'm telling y'all, man, this was crazy because you even had women that work up there chewing tobacco, spitting all out on the ground. It was women chewing tobacco. This is how these hillbillies was up there that was in control of our life. Chewing tobacco, man. But like I say, it gets even crazier because being that everybody wanted to smoke so much and being that cigarettes was in, you know what I'm saying, high demand, you know, it was even harder up there to corrupt one of them officers to try to get one of them to bring you something in because, you know, you're dealing with some racists and you're dealing with some hillbillies and they, you know what I'm saying, to try to even approach them like that, you put yourself at risk because they may cross you up or, you know, do whatever. But, man, like I say, in prison, man, one thing I will say, man, dudes in prison are the most creative, innovative people on this planet, man. They're the most resilient people on this planet. They're the most, you know, outside the box thinking dudes on this planet, man. Where there is a way, they will find a way. And you actually had dudes up there corrupting police into bringing in cigarettes, man. You know, with no matter what they had to pay them or no matter what they did it. You know, dudes might bring a pack of cigarettes in, man. They might get a dude or officer up there to bring a pack of cigarettes in for give them $200. $200 for a pack of cigarettes because to the officer, that's a big come up. You know, they buy a pack of cigarettes on the street, get it in here. You know, it's small, he can smuggle it in and get $200 for it. They'll do it because they can take them cigarettes and make thousands of dollars off of them, man. One pack of cigarettes. You see what I'm saying? They would take one cigarette and get all the tobacco out and roll up skinny little joints, man, of six or seven cigarettes and sell each one of them for $6 a piece. So you do the math to that. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing in there. And every now and then somebody will pop up and they got tobacco. They done got it from an officer. There ain't nowhere else they could get it from. So then That was going on. So every time somebody had some, man, they boom, 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 it'd go like, you know, hotcakes because everybody wanted to smoke. They buy them. They get them commissary. They sending the money out on the books to get this smoke of cigarettes. Man, listen. These people got so desperate up there, man, to smoke that these officers that was walking around with chewing tobacco in their mouth was literally spitting this chewing tobacco out all over the yard, spitting it in trash cans and tying it up and throwing it away in the bag to try to cover up the smell for a supervisor to smell it, for the warden to come by and smell it because they don't supposed to have it on the compound. But yet they all walking around with it free in their mouth till they see a warden or something, they spit it out and there's no way the warden couldn't have seen this tobacco everywhere or knew what was going on. But they was getting away with it because they had habits and the people needed them. They couldn't find them because they needed the workers. So it was, you know what I'm saying, it was like an overlooked type thing. But in the meantime, while these dudes spitting tobacco out, some of these dudes took it upon themselves to start picking the tobacco up that had been chewed in a man's mouth or a woman's mouth, spit out, and then spit on the ground. They would take napkins and pick that stuff up, take it back in the building, and then take and dry it out, lay it out, spread it out, dry it out, and they did some type of stuff where they burned it, you know, set it on cardboard and burn it, set it afire, and it dries all the way out like, you know, tobacco. And they would take that, roll it up in little small pieces or make little small pieces of it or get what they use to roll it up, either Bible paper because it was thin like rolling paper or whatever they could find, roll that stuff up and sell those things for $5, $6, $7 a pop. And they was buying them and smoking them, man. It was crazy. During this time, it was around the time Charlie Sheen was acting all crazy and everything. He was making all this big news and he used to always holler, winning, winning. Them dudes was smoking that stuff, man. You could smell it all over the block. Police coming there, know people smoking. Somebody's smoking in here. And they got to go around looking at themselves. Man, these people were smoking this stuff, man, like it was real tobacco. And they saying that it was stronger than tobacco. So it was actually in demand. So you had dudes going out there now, man, going out on the yard, walking around like Mac, looking for spit out tobacco, picking it up so they could get a come up. They could bring it back in, dry it out, burn it, and sell it and make money. You know what I'm saying? You had dudes going out there to get the trash cans, beefing though, who gonna get the trash can because they know the dudes, the officers that be in the booth be chewing tobacco all night on all of the different booths, and then in the morning, they done threw it away, spit it all out of the trash cans and tied the little trash bags up and throw them in the dumpster out there. So when they go out to wreck or whatever, or go somewhere, they sneak over to the dumpster, jump in, grab a bag, tuck it up under their shirt or something, or try to sneak it in and get it back and go through the bag because they can smell the tobacco. So they dumpster diving, sniffing, try to grab the bag that got tobacco in it, man. It's just insanity, man. This is what dudes go through in there when you under this type of pressure and you ain't got nothing. And now they thinking that they got something but don't even really know what they getting. You don't know what these people got, whether they got tuberculosis, anything, but you actually smoking something that has already been in somebody else's mouth and spit out on the ground. I know it's gross as I don't know what, but it's factual and it was happening and it was big money. You know, I'm talking about dudes was making thousands of dollars off of this. So it became a priority. It became a thing, man, where now dudes is trying to get out there and they trying to beat the other person to the trash can. And every now and then the officer, they knew what was going on. They knew, but they ignored it because they couldn't really tell. This is why dudes was able to smoke in there, and they come in and somebody's smoking and they walk around and look, but they wouldn't go real hard because if they found it and then somebody told the warden, well, we only got it because they chewing tobacco, and then the gig was up and they'll put more pressure on them. So it was a give and take. They was letting it get along and go by. They speak on it, but they wouldn't do nothing about it because they didn't want the pressure coming back on them where the people will make sure they won't bring it in no chewing tobacco. So, man, it was a crazy situation, man, which created an even more dangerous atmosphere because now you got these dudes beefing and ready to kill each other over some spit out tobacco. You know, you had dudes in the morning that they would pick somebody to go out and take the trash out and dump the trash in the dumpster, the trash from the block. So dudes was now vying and jockeying to be the one to take it out, because they'll go out there, they'll dump the big trash can, and then they'll fill it back up with all the bags that's been thrown in there from at night, from the booze. They got all of the tobacco and they can smell it, and then they'll try to sneak that back in and wait for the police ain't looking. They'll take all the bags out and throw it in a laundry bag and sneak it to their cell and go through it. You can walk by their cell, man, and they be in there busting bags open looking for tobacco, man. It was crazy. Chewing tobacco. And, you know, they would come up off of it, man. They get a lot of that stuff, man, and sell it, man. And I'm telling you, they was making money hand over fist, where you got dudes beefing there like, oh, I got the trash, I'm taking the trash out. Or boom, or when we go to wreck, they racing to get to the dumpster to try to be the one who get the stuff so they can sell it. Man, this is how they had people living in there, man. I'm telling you, it was a disaster. It was crazy. Dudes done pulled a Bethlehem out. They got the beefing over tobacco. Got the beefing over who gonna take the trash out. Dudes that got the rumbling, got shot. You know, it's just insanity, man. Pure insanity, man, that we was living in. But you right in the midst of it, and you not really looking at it the way I'm looking at it now, man. And this is just craziness, just uncut craziness. But this is what was going on, man. This is the culture. This is how they had it up there. This is how it was set up. And, man, it was just insanity, man. And this was all created by the officers, because had the administration been doing their job, the officers wouldn't even been able to bring the tobacco in there, the chewing tobacco at least, and that would have cut down on all the violence that was going on to a certain degree, the violence over the tobacco, and it was a lot. I mean, a lot. I mean, dudes was popping off, dudes was fighting, dudes was beefing, dudes was mad because they couldn't buy none, dudes was mad because dude wouldn't sell them none, dudes might be mad because he got to it before he got to it. So, man, a lot of fights was created over this you know, tobacco that's been in somebody else's mouth, man. It was unbelievable, man, and I was just watching it all unfold. And if I never had an incentive to quit smoking, I had quit by then, that was it. That was it right there. If I ain't never had a incentive in the world to quit smoking, man, that was most definitely it, man, because that to me was just, man, it just shows the power of addiction, the power of you so used to getting that, you know, that in your lungs, man, because it's a common feeling, man. It just take you away from what you're going through and take you away, take a little stress off you psychologically. You would believe in that it was taking a little stress off you. But at the same time, man, you smoking something that has been already used or whatnot. And then you had officers start being even more slick. They was bringing in the real tobacco, the whole tobacco, Copenhagen and all of that stuff, and bringing the little round junks in and selling that to dudes. Selling that to dudes for $200-300, right? And they'll buy it. And then they got that, and that's supposed to be even stronger. Menthol flavor and this, that, and third. They'll take that in there and even burn it and dry it out so it expand. And they roll that up and sell it. And it's, oh, this fresh, this ain't been chewed. And dudes will even pay more for that. $8-9 for a cigarette, you know. And it was crazy, man. This is the world that we was living in, bro. This is penitentiary. Yeah, man, this is penitentiary, man. This is it, man. You know what I'm saying? And this was all unfolding, man, right there in front of me, man. Like I said, man, it just was amazing, man. The things that I was seeing, the things that I was witnessing. And it's like, you know, they want you to act like humans, but you being treated like animals. And this result of that is dudes is acting like animals. You know what I'm saying? They have resorted to that because of, you know, the conditions they in, the way they being treated, you know, and the things they're being denied. So, you know, when a dude don't have, he's going to try to find a way to get what he need. And, man, dudes felt like they needed them cigarettes, man. And that was going on up there from that point until I left. It was still a big thing. It had not stopped. It was just still going on, man. And like I say, the violence on there was incredible. You know what I'm saying? I mean, for to know that you're going to get shot, to know that the dog is going to bite you, to know that you're going to get maced, you still this mad at somebody that you want to still attack them under all of those things. And then again, too, it was a lot of politics going on with it, too, because sometimes dudes was more willing to fight up there because they knew that it was going to get stopped, and it was going to get stopped fast. It wasn't going to last long. You know what I'm saying? The gun was going to bust. The mace was going to be boiled out. The dog was going to be boiled out. And hopefully they didn't get hurt too bad where they can say, well, at least I fought. I ain't no chump. I ain't no sucker. You know, that they fought for theirs. And that's what they wanted to put across. But when you on flatland, they may not have fought because ain't no help gonna get there that fast. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to put in some work, some real work. You're gonna have to really be able to rumble. And a lot of dudes use that stuff to their advantage. And they use it to their advantage just to be more boisterous, more, in your face, because they know that you didn't want to fight because of all of the things that you was gonna be facing. So this created a lot of stuff. And then when they tried them games, sometimes they got more than they was looking for because the dude would take off on them. You know what I'm saying? I seen knife fights up there, crazy knife fights, man. I remember one of the incidents right before the knife fight that I seen, which was crazy. They had a dude up there, and he was actually from DC. He was actually from my neighborhood, but he was way younger than me, and I knew some of his peoples or whatever when he told me, but I didn't know him. He wasn't even born before I left, but he was up there, and he actually had a houseman job. And when you got the houseman job, what happens is you can come out when everybody else is still locked up, because you may have to pass out the laundry, you may have to sweep the floor, mop the floor, whatever, and they would leave us in locked up while the workers was out until they finished, and then they would let us out for part rent. So I can remember, man, my little homeboy, man, they actually called him Southeast, man. He had a job like that, and about 4 other dudes work out there. So he also ran parlay tickets where, the betting on the games and the gambling or whatever. And he played other people parlay tickets. So I remember one time him and the dude was having an altercation about the money. Who won the money? Did you win? Did you not win? Or whatever. You owe me. No, I don't owe you. They going back and forth. So they hollering back and forth on the gate. So both of them get ready to come out, and they're going to be out there with about 3, 4 other dudes. Everybody else going to be locked up. So they beefing and hollering through the gate, and words is being passed that you can't ignore. Threats is being made that you can't ignore. So everybody's on the gate looking like, man, what's going on? I wasn't really trying to see the drama. I thought they was just talking. They work out there together. They always kicking it together. So I thought they was going to be able to work it out, and it was going to be over. But most dudes in there, like I say, they want to see drama. They just don't want to be in drama. So I can remember them holler. I can hear them clear as day. And cause Southeast live close to me, about 4 sales from me, so I can hear. All right, well, wait till we come out. We ain't got to keep talking about it. Yeah, all right. So boom, man, I can remember hearing the doors open, man. The workers, and they bust the doors open. I'm still sitting there, and I was looking at something on TV. I can't remember what it was. And the next thing you know, man, I heard boom, pop, boom, and you could tell the noise of fighting. You could tell the screeches of the feet. You could tell all of that stuff when you've been locked up as long as I have. I was locked up so long that I could be in my cell and somebody could be walking in the tier after I had been there for a second. I know who it was coming down the tier before they got in my view. I could tell by their foot cadence, the way they pick their feet up and I really could. So I know the difference between when I heard noise out there in the block when I'm in my cell, whether it's noise of something happening, noise of something get ready happening, or whether it's just dudes running their mouth, playing cards, talking trash, or what. I just had an ear for it. When you've been around it so much long, it has a different tone to it. You can know it. So I remember I heard the screeching and the and I get up and I go to the door. Man, by the time I got to the door, man, dude was on top of Southeast, and it looked like Southeast was already unconscious. And man, he hit him in the face. I mean, just bear down on him, man. Bang! Bang, bang, about 5 or 6 times where his head was bouncing up off of the concrete and everything before the officer, who probably saw it before they had actually seen it, said, hey, get up off of him, get up off of him. And he took and shot the warning shot. Blah! The next shot gonna hit you. So dude jump up off of him, slide about 10 feet over, and just lay down like that. You know what I'm saying? And lay there, and then they call the people, about 5 minutes, they come running in there, bum rushing all up in there. Southeast is laying there unconscious, bleeding, ain't even moving. They run to dude first, grab him, jump all on him, got the dog, get ready to bite him, twist him all up, get him up, cuff him. They run over to Southeast, the other people, they grab him, turn him around all rough, tell him, turn around, put the cup, the man unconscious. He unconscious. Stand up. They get him to stand up, his body is limp. And stand up, They trying to walk him out. They dragging him out, steady talking to him. They probably hurt him more when the way they was handling him than he was already hurt. Man, they took them both out there, man. It was crazy as I don't know what. To the best of my understanding, man, I ain't get to see him no more, man. I heard his jaw was broke. you know, maybe his nose. I mean, dude just brutalized him. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. In prison, man, ain't nobody gonna have no mercy on you. Your best hope is to be prepared and stay ready and be physically capable of handling yourself against any opposition, because no one is gonna save you, no one is gonna help you. And I would not have thought that he would have been able to do that. So I didn't see how it first popped off. I didn't see who threw the first punch. I didn't see none of that. What I heard was they was arguing, they was talking. I heard South East turned his head like, yeah, like shaking his head like, man, whatever. And bomb, the first punch put him down and he took it from there. So I don't know, but all I do know, I saw the part where he dropped them hammers on him, and that was it, man. And yeah, he had to get rushed to the hospital and all of that, man. So, you know, that was a life lesson right there for him. Hopefully he all right. Hopefully he recovered or whatever, you know, and got better. But I ain't see him no more from that point on, you know, which was crazy in itself, man. I was like, man, you know, but I ended up seeing the dude that did it to him. I ended up seeing him again down the line. But, you know, like I say, it was a crazy situation, man. But that's the type of stuff that was going on up there. That's the type of stuff you had to be ready for at any time, man. And like I say, the police are not going to save you. They want to see drama. They want to bust that gun. They want to see people get hurt so they can have something to talk about. We was actually entertainment for them, you know. And like I say, they had enough of it going on up there, man. Enough of it going on. I can remember, man, they had this big dude on there, man. He was a biggin', man. And he was from up Northern Virginia somewhere. I think like Alexander. Calm, mild dude for his size, man. Get on the court, man, can play real good because he like about 6'5", you know, about 250. I'm talking about strong, well-built, young dude, man. Young, probably about 25, 26. And this goes too, man, as a testament to how much power the streets have on you, especially when it comes to a female. To have a relationship while you're in prison, man, you know, is a hard thing to do because your emotions going to be all over the place. You can't talk like you want to talk. You can't be with the person. You can't control nothing. You basically in a submissive, you know, position by being in a relationship while you're in prison because you're relying on that person to be all exclusive and to be, you know, there when you call and so on and so forth. But I can tell you, you know, from experience too, that when dudes lose their girl, they usually lose their mind. That's usually a dangerous time for that person or the people around him because he going through so much emotionally that he don't have no outlet for it, and usually somebody else end up being the blunt of his anger. And like I say, this dude, man, he had a fiance, I believe, and he was always talking to her. He was a big old cat, and he gonna use that phone, and everybody knew he was gonna use that phone. But for the most part, he was mild-mannered, but, you know, you could look at him and tell he wanted to be played with. So he used the phone all day, man. And him and his girl was going through it for a couple of days. And she must have just blocked his number. You know, she blocked his number, man, and he kept calling. And I guess he realized the number was blocked and dude's waiting for the phone. And he steady redialing, trying to get through. And then he called, I guess, his family member or something, tried to get them to call him. They didn't answer. Man, he was going through it. Then he turned around on the dudes waiting on the phone. He said, man, wait a minute, I'm trying to get through. And, you know, that was the beginning of him getting ready to snap. So dudes was like, boom, you know, they bag up and everything. So then when he finally get off the phone, he like slammed it down. Bam! Almost broke the phone. And he just started walking around the pod, just pacing, walking at a fast pace. And then like I told you, man, I don't care what prison you on, even up here with these races and these guns and stuff. Since I was locked up, man, the institution, they just let you know that they basically cowards anyway when it comes to physicality. They only beat you when they got numbers or you got you cuffed up. They always been scared of big dudes like him. They just been scared. All a big dude got to do, especially you got height and size, all you got to do is bark on them and they gonna handle you with a little caution because they scared, you know. And that was the same case with him. They was a little nervous about it because they had never seen him snapped out like that before. But he walking around and pacing. He walking all around the lines that you don't supposed to walk around unless you get shot. Now, I don't think they had noticed him at this time, but he just walking and you could tell he got something on his mind. He trying to get off. And then, man, the next thing you know, man, he started walking up to people asking them, hey, you got a three-way, man? I need a three-way. You know, a three-way call is get somebody to call and then he can three-way and call because he thinking in his mind that being that the girl got his number blocked, if he gets somebody else to call, the number will go through and he can say what he want to say. Hey, look, take the block off the phone, whatever. So he trying to get a three-way. So he just walking up to dudes all aggressively. You got a three-way, man. You got a three-way. So dudes looking at him like, nah, I ain't got no three-way. You know, and he walking around, he a pace, he asked somebody, hey, you got a three-way? You know, and dudes was like, no. Man, I guess he got more and more irritated, more and more frustrated. Now he on the bottom tier, I'm on the top tier. So when I hear him hollering out there loud like that and asking people, I come to the door, so I'm looking out because I'm in my cell. So man, this dude literally started going on the bottom tier, seeing who was in their cell and walking around looking in cells. When he sees somebody in the cells, he literally went straight to their door and hit it. Boom! Hey, you got a three-way! You got a three-way! And dudes was like caught in shock and stuff. Dude was like, nah. You know, and everybody's people saying no, he'll grab the handle of their door and jerk it. Like he was trying to jerk their door over. You sure you ain't got no three-way? Man, I know dudes was up in there, Joe, scared to death, man. Like, man, what is wrong with this fool? He just snapping out like I don't know what. And he just went around, kept going around the bottom tier. You got a three-way? Don't be lying. Do you got a three-way? Man, he was going around there. And by now, the police done noticed him. They done came on the other side. They get the holler calling, hey, get away from them doors, get away. Because you don't supposed to walk up to the doors when you out on the block. You don't go cross that line until it's time to go in your cell. So, hey, he kept on walking. He just looked up at him, kept on going next to him. Hey, you got a three-way, man? You got a three-way? They talking about, hey, call him by his name. You better get from behind that line. He look up at him. He said, man, leave me alone. Leave me alone. So, man, he get on the radio. He get to calling other people. Man, that man finished the bottom tier and started walking upstairs. Automatically, normally, they'll shoot you right there. You know what I'm saying? Because you out of bounds. He went on upstairs, went to the first cell in the corner, jerked that jump. You got a three-way? You got a three-way? So, man, this was like insane, man. We looking at this stuff. I'm like, man, what in the world? But they were scared to shoot him because he a big old dude and they didn't know how he was going to respond, whether they can handle him. So, man, they done got on the loudspeaker there, tell everybody, lock up. Everybody lock up, go to your cell. So everybody started going to their cell. He kept on walking around the top tier. Then when he seen everybody was going to the cell, he walked down the stairs. He was trying to go in his cell. They wouldn't open the door. So he started pacing around the part. Now he the only one on the floor. So then when reinforcements and everybody come up in there, they bring the dog, they bring the big riot mace, and they coming in there, they got the dude up in the tower on the gun. They like, man, you all right? You all right? So I'm like, what's up? What's up? Y'all coming to do something to me? Y'all coming to do something to me? And they were like, man, calm down. What's wrong with you, man? They say you were walking around going to the cells on top 10. Is y'all trying to do something to me? Is y'all trying to do something to me? He said, nah, man, nobody trying to do nothing to you. But the dog like, they ready to let the dog go on. The dude got the mace can at the ready, and he just barking at him. What? They said, man, we got to take you out here and talk to you. Come on, man, let's go out here and talk to you. Calm down, man. You ain't never caused no problems in here. What's wrong? Let's calm down. Man, I don't want to talk. Come on, man, you got to go out here and talk. Man, he just looking at him, man. He was pacing. Everybody ain't know what he was going to do. It's like, man, every face spot on the door like this. You know, so he like, man, I need a three-way. I need to call my people. They said, man, okay, we going to try to get you a call, man. Just calm down. And they try to walk him out. He started walking out. And it's like he walking out with like 10 people around him. Dogs, guns, everything. They trying to talk so calm to him and walk this man about there. They ain't want that smoke with that big brother.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man.
My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young.
I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm going to have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.